2 people are dead after storms hit New England. We have the latest on that severe weather.
Plus, it's all finally coming to an end. We tell you what's next in the trial for Colorado theater shooter James Holmes.
And it is a big day for Dominion Power and local landowners as they get ready to face off in court.
Anytime, anywhere, award-winning coverage you can count on. This is ABC 13 News. Good morning, Virginia.
Good morning, Virginia. It is Monday, August 6th, 2015. I'm Pattie Martin.
And I'm Brittany. Thanks so much for starting your day with us.
Well, today we are talking more about storm damage, this time in New England.
That's right, Pattie. Powerful winds knocked over a circus tent, killing 2 people and injuring dozens more. Bazi Kanani reports.
It was terrifying.
A circus tent shredded by sharp winds and hail.
Colorado theater shooter James Holmes is facing the possibility of the death penalty as the third and final round of sentencing begins today. In this phase, jurors will listen to victim impact statements and decide if Holmes deserves death. Yesterday, jurors said Holmes' lawyers have not presented a strong enough case to eliminate execution as an option. The decision clears the way for another round of arguments before the jury makes a final decision between capital punishment and life in prison without parole. 12 people died in the 2012 attack. The Department of Homeland Security has issued a warning to law enforcement that terrorists could use drones to bring down planes. In the past few days, 3 drones were spotted close to flights trying to land at New York's JFK airport. One was reported by a pilot from Richmond. Officials didn't say there was a specific threat, but experts say a drone could fly into a plane's engine, hit the cockpit window, injuring or killing a pilot. The FAA prohibits recreational drones from being flown within 5 miles of an airport.
A procedural vote in the Senate that would have cut federal funds for Planned Parenthood has failed. Yesterday's vote was 53 to 46, which is short of the 60 votes the GOP needed.
And ABC 13 received a statement from Senator Mark Warner following the failed vote to cut funding for Planned Parenthood. He says continued funding for the important health services provided by Planned Parenthood is critical to the health of women. There are multiple investigations already underway to determine if there has been wrongdoing. It's a mistake to allow these heavily edited videos to be used as a pretext to launch political attacks designed to deny women access to the important health services like cancer screenings, birth control, and well women exams. 5 families in Nelson County are preparing to face Dominion Power in court today over the Atlantic Coast Pipeline. The lawsuit was filed last fall. The landowners say Virginia law that allows surveyors to enter their property without permission is unconstitutional. Dominion is expected to ask the federal court judge to dismiss the suit. Attorney Neil Walters says the confusion of what surveying actually means is a big sticking point.
Surveying can mean all different kinds of things. When it's, hey, we're going to come clear 200-foot right path, dig holes every 50 feet that are 3 feet wide, and chop down what we need to do to be able to do that, and we're not going to pay you for it, that's horse of a different color.
Dominion says they believe the state's surveying laws do not violate the Constitution.
Still to come on Good Morning Virginia, a youth basketball team in Charlottesville isn't being allowed to play in the national championship tournament this weekend. We're going to tell you the reason and look at the support that's growing for the team.
And it's cooling off a little bit out there with temperatures in the 80s today and a chance of rain in the afternoon. Melissa's going to have the full forecast after the break.
Well, we are coming up on a big weekend for shoppers across the state. Tax-free weekend kicks off Friday, but this year there's a twist.
That's right, Pattie. Virginia is combining all of its annual tax breaks into one weekend. This includes school supplies, hurricane preparedness item, and Energy Star products. Whitney Delbridge reports.
For 12-year-old Caroline Newcomb, going to the 7th grade is a big step.
And we have a link to a full list of all the items that will be tax exempt this weekend. You can check out that list on our website, WSET.com.
Now here's a look at the most viewed news stories this morning on WSET.com. A shelter manager is set to be hired following a protest over the Pittsylvania County Animal Shelter. Also, many of you are logging on to read about the landowners heading to court today with Dominion Power over pipeline surveying. And there's been an outpouring of complaints against Honest Company, with people heading to social media to show how the sunscreen just doesn't work. Be sure to log on to WSET.com, your source for ABC 13 News anytime. Some Lynchburg kids are getting a taste of what it takes to be a pro football player this week. The Washington Redskins Kids Camp is going on this week at Lynchburg College. The camp educates boys and girls 6 through 13 about sportsmanship and the skills needed to get better at football. Former LC basketball star Chris Wellen helped bring the camp to Lynchburg and says it's been a great experience for him as well.
Campus, awesome people that are still here working, and they open their...
Each camper also gets a pair of tickets to a Redskins preseason game. The kids camp runs through Friday.
And coming up in our next half hour of Good Morning Virginia, there are some new heroes on the scene in the fight against child predators, how Bedford County plays into their mission.
And a Pennsylvania County mother is fighting to get a pet for her child, why she says a special dog could improve her life in a major way.
Anytime, anywhere, award-winning coverage you can count on. This is ABC 13 News. Good morning, Virginia.
They fought for our country. Now a group of wounded veterans is preparing for a new battle against predators who go after our children online.
And Sheriff Mike Brown has been working with the program since its beginning, asking for a Hero Corps class here in Bedford County. Angela Hatcher reports on the group's training.
Sheriff Mike Brown, nice to meet you.
A woman who already served time in prison for killing a road construction worker in a drunk driving crash was sentenced to 5 years in prison for another DUI. Tracy Neininger pleaded guilty back in April to a felony charge of DWI after a previous felony. Officers arrested her in October after she failed a field sobriety test. Neininger served 2.5 years in prison for killing construction worker Richard Stone in 2008. Police are still searching for the person who shot and killed a Navy sailor in Virginia Beach. Investigators say this happened Saturday night. Now the trees hold crosses and a sailor hat. On the night of the shooting, neighbors say they heard one gunshot. When they came outside, Brandon Haith of Georgia was lying in the middle of the street, shot in the head. Some say he was fighting to survive.
His eyes were still registering at the moment. He just looked like he's in total, just surprise. I just held his hand and told him, hey, brother, I'm sorry. And I mean, we're here with you. It's going to be okay.
But when medics got there, it was too late. Police say Haith had already passed away. The Navy said Haith was stationed in Norfolk on the USS San Antonio. He lost his ring in the sand at Myrtle Beach. Now a retired Richmond police officer has it back. Earlier this week, a woman found the ring in the sand while running on the beach. Cecil Glunt says he's been wearing the ring since he retired in 1979 until his family vacation.
I took it off because I was going in the water. Put it in my shoe, and when I came back out of the water, I guess I picked my shoe up and it fell out. And I didn't realize it until I got back to the house.
The woman who found the ring called the Richmond Police Department, and before Cecil knew it, social media had taken over. He said he plans on sending the woman who found the ring a nice thank you package.
Well, 1 in 68 children in our nation has autism. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
But experts say man's best friend has proven to help those kids lead normal lives. Now a local mother is on a mission to get a therapy dog for her daughter. Tola Adamson reports.
That's Emily Furr.
And if you would like to help Emily reach her goal, we do have a link to the GoFundMe page at WSET.com. She is a little over halfway to her goal.
And the dog days of summer had a new meaning over the weekend as these dogs hit the beach for a surfing competition. Pups participated in the 10th annual Unleashed by Petco Surf Dog competition on Saturday in Imperial Beach, California. Dogs and their owners hit the waves to compete in several categories. Proceeds benefited the San Diego Humane Society.
Well, police are used to tense situations. Just ask this Rochester, Michigan officer who stopped to help a baby skunk. The animal had its head stuck in a yogurt container. Now, when the officer carefully pulls the cup off the skunk's head, he had to jump out of the way as the unhappy skunk tried to spray him. Now, fortunately, the skunk is young and doesn't have his stinky powers fully developed, and that is a very nice officer to do that.
It was very nice. I don't know if I would be brave enough to do that because judging by skunks, I don't know how old they are, and I'd be afraid that I'd get sprayed.
Yeah, well, I've had dogs sprayed by them. You don't want to be around it at all. All right, still to come on Good Morning Virginia, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are addressing rumors they're calling it quits. This is another celebrity couple has announced they are going their separate ways.
And there's a little bit of cooling off in the temperatures with the clouds today, but there's a chance of rain in the forecast later. Melissa will have the full 7 days after the break. Yet another Hollywood couple is calling it quits. No Doubt singer and The Voice coach Gwen Stefani and her rocker husband Gavin Rossdale are divorcing.
Meanwhile, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are addressing their own divorce rumors. Mary Maloney has more in today's Showbiz News.
Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale are getting a divorce.
Well, coming up in the next half hour of Good Morning Virginia, a protest over Pittsylvania County's animal shelter has gotten the attention of the Board of Supervisors. We're going to tell you what they want.
How far would you go to protect your child from bullies? One dad went to dangerous extremes and is paying the price.